Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Monday night training with Henrietta. As most of you who are part of the team have seen, Henrietta is popping ranks in Norway, a bit like popcorn pops, and she really is on fire, and so is her team. So I'm going to ask her to share this evening as to what she's doing that's different to what she did before, because a few months ago, Henrietta and I had a call. And what did you say to me, Henrietta? You need to unmute.
Well, I was a bit frustrated because it seemed like everything was slowing down instead of speeding up. So, but then I went to some events and I learned why. So I could do something about it.
Absolutely. So Henrietta said to me, I've always been successful in business. Whatever I've done has
Mhm.
been perfect. Why can't I do this? And then she came to Orlando and she's going to tell you what happened.
Yes, it's I've been a businesswoman and entrepreneur all my life. I've been doing several businesses. I've been had startup businesses, I've helped others start businesses, and I've been pretty much, yeah, I've been very successful. And when I started LifeWave, I didn't think that I could do this as a business because I've tried before in network marketing, it didn't work. So uh, what I've realized with LifeWave is that this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. But I didn't know that at the start. So I just thought, I'm not going to do this as a business. I'm going to patch because Toril, she wanted just to see if this could get her out of chemotherapy, and it did. And I patched with her, and I realized this has to be, this is too good to be true, really. We need to tell people this is absolutely amazing. So in the beginning, I I think a lot of people joined my business because I was not doing the business. I was just telling everybody I bought this patch. It's supposed to give me stem cells. And they said, what is it? How does it work? And I say, I have no clue. I don't know how it works. You have to go to a meeting if you want to. Arlene has these meetings in Australia, and you need to join one because I can't explain this to you. And a lot of people did, and a lot of people joined, and I didn't explain anything. And for a while, this was working. We were just using the meeting and we started Norwegian meetings. And I started joining meetings all over the world to see what is this, what is going on with other people. I joined Arlene's meeting, Merle's meetings, Adrian Oliver's meetings, meetings in America. And I learned a lot. And now, in all my previous businesses, a lot of knowledge is kind of what you need to do the business. And I thought that is what I'm going to have to do in this business as well to be really successful. So I didn't realize that I was talking too much. I didn't realize until the Orlando event what was wrong with the way I was doing my business because um, it was really, really mind-changing. I did go to the virtual event in the beginning of the year. I went to a London event and I'm listening and I'm learning and I'm reading the books of the month and all of these things. And suddenly in Orlando, it just hit me because I think three different people on stage said, you have to not talk about everything. You just need one skill to manage this business, and that is to get people to go to meetings. And in the beginning, I was good to getting people at the meetings, and then it stopped. And why? Because I was trying to explain this myself to the person sitting next to me. I was puking all over them with all the information and all the things I thought they would be so convinced, but instead I left them confused. So I learned at the event that part of the system is don't just pitch. Don't try to explain to somebody what this is about. Pitch. So when I got back from Orlando, I was really working on this how to pitch, and I was actually just copying Steve Merritt himself. He said the pitch is it's about just tell them it's new technology, it's brand new and nobody else has heard about it. It is absolutely amazing. I've got some great results. And then just pop the question, uh, are you open to hear more about this? That's it. And then quit. I don't say anything else. Are you open to learn more about this? And then people lean in and said, sure, what is it? And that's when you can say, if I could tell you this in 2 minutes, I would, but I can't. I need 30 minutes. When do you have these 30 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour? When do you have time? I'd love to tell you. And then suddenly people start to come to meetings because I'm not telling them the story. And it's in a meeting, in a presentation like this, when you get into a presentation, you get the story in a very structured, very well thought out way. And that is the system of Stephen and Gina Merritt. They haven't just made up a presentation. This presentation is made of their excellency. This works. So if we use the system, it starts working for you. So I made this formula and I had trainings with my team. And I said, this is what we do. We need to become good at pitching and pointing to a presentation, and then people will come. And the good thing about it is that it's the system that copies. I'm not copyable. Neither is Merle and none in my team. We can't copy people, but we can copy a system. That's what duplicates. So if I pitch a new person with 2 minutes, this person can also use only 2 minutes to pitch the next person. And then we have the presentations. So that was a really, really, really breakthrough for me. And even though I'd heard it, it just didn't sink in until I was at the event. So it's something different when you are in a room full of people and you hear things over, maybe for the third time, and then suddenly, okay, that's what I need to do. So we just started doing that, and it absolutely just between the two events of Orlando and Anaheim, things just started happening. We had more people coming to the meetings. I went and I also went and sat down with a few of my people and said, let's do this together, because I was terrified. Can I really just call somebody and do a 2 minutes pitch? You know, so the first I went to one of my partners and said, let's do this together. I'm scared too, you know. And we sat because we didn't know if this would work. So we said, okay, I'll do one call, you do the next. So we made new lists and we just sat and I made one call. She was listening to me. And the person was happy to hear from me. People don't call anyone anymore. They're like, wow, why are you calling me? So, and then it was her turn, and you know, and then I had 2, 3 meetings with my key people, and everybody started doing these calls, and we booked 26 meetings in a week, presentations, just by using 2 minutes per person. And the formula, which I also learned at the event, is number one, just say hi. Call somebody and say, hi, how are you doing? And then number two, give them not necessarily a compliment, but give them a reason why you're calling. I call you because I like you. I call you because I thought of you. I call you because we always have such fun together. I call you because I know you like natural products. I call you because I don't care. Just find something about the person you call and tell them that's why you call. Because then they feel seen and heard, and then you say, and the pitch. I come up with this fantastic technology that nobody knows about, and that's why it's great, it's natural, and it's a business opportunity. Are you interested in? Are you open? Are you open to hear more? That's practically everything. And everybody says, sure, what is it? And then you can say, like I said, I just have a couple of minutes. I thought I'd call you. I thought of you. So we need to set aside some time so I can show you. And that's how we did a lot of meetings in a short period of time. And so these events are so, so important. And then I went to Anaheim. And now it's exploding even more because I brought people with me to Anaheim. To Orlando, I went alone. And now I had team members with me. Gunhild, who is on the call here, was there with me. And now we are more people that hear the same thing and we can discuss and we can implement. And I'll say after the Anaheim convention, there are two big things that I learned in Anaheim that I've been implementing. One is who else here is scared to talk about the business? Isn't it good to just tell everybody this is good for your body, this is good for your health, but in the moment we start talking about the business, we shrink a little bit. So when I heard David Schmidt on the stage in Anaheim, and he was there 60% of the time, and he was talking, and I was looking, and I said, how can we be afraid of this? And the training with This Is It team on the Sunday, and I don't remember who, but they talked about don't be afraid of the business. There's so many people financially struggling around. It's as important as the product. And we tell them, yes, we have a patch that can help you with your sleep. But you know why people don't sleep? They have financial anxiety. So we can, so we have to kind of really, really go into the fact that when we talk about the business, we are also helping people because a lot more people than you think are struggling financially. So that was a biggie for me. I'm not scared to talk about the business anymore. I don't ever pitch anyone anymore without telling them that this is also an opportunity. Because you know what? They have friends too that are struggling. And if they don't know, and if they don't get it straight away, that this is something that also my friends can benefit from, and I can get my patches for free, well, then they don't know. They come to the presentation and they are just looking for the X39 and not the opportunity. And it's so important. So after I started talking more or equally about product and opportunity, more people are bringing in more people. And that's why we are ranking now a lot of people because they talk to people about the product without being scared. And they can invite them to meeting and say, this is an opportunity for me. Maybe it's an opportunity for you as well. So the biggest thing after the last convention was for me that and the LifeWave app. The LifeWave now. I mean, seriously, this is a tool that is absolutely crazy. And for me, who's not used to being a lot on social media, in in my previous jobs, you learn to hate social media because you don't want to be seen in social media when you're running a company because you're kind of corporate. So I have to learn to use social media, and this app is amazing. But what else it is? The AI function in there, you can actually ask anything. So every time now I get a question from somebody or I get an objection, I've invited somebody and they say, well, you see, I can't come, I don't have time for this, or whatever it is. I just go to the app and I write to the AI function. I got this message from this person. How would you respond? And they give me a perfect sentence to send every time. So, and I teach this to my people as well because they don't have to call me and say, oh, I got this answer. What do I do now? I say, what do? You go to I and you ask, what do you do? Because this app is much more knowledgeable and much more better than I am. So system. We got the tools. We got a product that works. We have a business model that works, and we have the tools to do this. So, and I can tell you straight away. I am doing the virtual convention in January. I will be in Orlando next year. I will be in Anaheim next year. I'm not going to miss another event because every time I go to an event, I learn something important that makes my business go to the next level. So I hope you think this was valuable to listen to.
Henriette, it was amazing. And you started the new comp plan on what rank?
I 3 star, two-star manager? No, 3 star manager.
Three-star manager. So that meant that when you went one-star director, what happened the week you went one-star director? For those people who haven't
Yeah.
got there yet, what happens when
I
you go one-star
got a
director?
very nice bonus. And also, I got a lot of points towards trip. Who else is aiming for the incentive trip?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, but this time, I've been trying to do this incentive trips. I haven't managed to get on one yet. This time I will.
You definitely will. So what happens now is when you rank up to one-star director, and I think the same week that Henrietta ranked up, so did Eileen. So Eileen ranked up to one-star exec. So Henrietta got $250. Eileen got $2,500. And if you had your second half,
Yes.
yeah, and then hold the rank for another 4 weeks, so 5 weeks in total, and you get the second half, and both of them have had their second half. So how amazing is that? And
Yeah.
then Henrietta ranked up to two-star director, and what are they saying? Have they sent you your gift yet?
No,
Not yet, but what she's going to get for going two-star director is a lovely, either they'll ask you or have they asked you already whether you want the tote or the travel backpack?
I haven't. No, they haven't asked me
They
yet.
haven't
Maybe
asked
you
you
need
yet.
to. Yeah, but yeah, no, I haven't got that question. I didn't even know.
Or maybe you've got to hold the rank for the 4 weeks to have it, but that's what you get for
This
two-star.
is my fourth week, and
I,
I'm keeping rank.
I know you are. So then you get this amazing travel backpack, and then when you go three-star, you get the roller bag that's branded with LifeWave. Absolutely
Cool.
amazing. So the gifts that go with it now are as amazing as obviously the ranking up. So it's very
That's
exciting.
wonderful. But it's also what is the greatest thing is it's not possible to rank up to anything unless you help your team. So
Exactly.
so to help my team and see that they get their ranks and see they're starting to earn money, it's so rewarding.
It's very exciting. And I see that some of your team are tapping into the relaunch bonus, which of course the
Yes.
money only comes in afterwards. But it's amazing so that there are people who are doing, and there's still weeks left. So people who were in the system before, who may be only active brand partners, if you're only an active brand partner or not even active and you want to get going, you can still go to one star manager and you can get $25 a week. Of course, if you're brand new, then it's easy. You can get the $25 a week just for having 750 volume. And then going to two star, you can get $50 a week, and that ends somewhere in January. So that's a relaunch. And of course, for all new people, that bonus is going forward, which is very exciting because if you can help the people you bring in to duplicate by using the systems, because as soon as you invent your own system, nobody can copy you. You might be the best recruiter ever and you can do amazing things. But if you keep just recruiting people and you don't train anybody to do what you're doing, you're never going to succeed. So the people who are on the calls all the time are always the same people who are on the calls, but those are the people who are learning. And the more, as Henrietta says, the more we go to different conferences and the more we listen to other people talking, the more we learn about what to do. So I'm going to suggest that if you're on the call in January, you watch the conference virtually. Because I think for most people, being there in person is not something that's going to happen. I'm going to be there in person. I was there in January. It was amazing in Vegas, and I was in Orlando with Henrietta. And of course, we were all in Anaheim together. And it really does make a huge difference to your business. So we want everybody to succeed. And I'm going to ask Candace very soon. I'm going to ask her to talk now as well, but I'm going to ask her to do a now site training because hers is far simpler than what they've been doing, the now site people have been doing. She did one on the weekend. And it was great for people who don't know how to get started. So I think that's something that we need to, well, Candice and I will schedule and we'll do that. And we'll do some more compensation plan training as well. Because it was great compensation plan training on the weekend. Kaz, is there anything else you want to add?
Just get started. And I love that, Henrietta, because I think, like she said, we want to know, coming from a hairdressing background, I tested every single product before I could recommend it to my clients. And that's the attitude that I came in with. And that's why I took so long to start the business because I was waiting for my result and my story. But we have so many beautiful stories. And just become a professional inviter to Zooms and meetings, like Henrietta said. And the NASA training that I did actually didn't have anything to do with the social media. I mean, that is an incredible aspect, but when you're just getting started, it can be really overwhelming to think of this website and this link tree and that link tree. So in the NASA app, everything that you need to get started is actually there, and it's set up like you're doing a course. So every video that you need to watch, it will tell you how many percentage complete you are and what you've watched and what you haven't watched. So it's also really motivating and interactive. And there's videos or documents. So it really caters for everybody. And, that's just the onboarding side. And then, like Henrietta said, the AI function is absolutely incredible. Um, so I just can't talk about now sites enough. And it's something that we shy away from because it's new technology. But once you get your head around it, it is such a great tool to have in your toolbox, apart from everything else that we've learned. But keep it simple. Keep it simple, because those of us that are dragging our feet are the ones that are trying to be the doctors and the scientists. And we've got David Schmidt for that. There's so much information available from him. And he speaks incredibly well, and he puts everything that's in our heads into words. So, yeah, just get started.
Definitely. So we're going to do that. We're going to get Candice to do that training along with her slides and show everybody around that app and what you can use because it is incredible. Adrian.
On that, I seem to remember that there's a promotion if people get on the app by the 10th, I think it is. So I think that might be Wednesday, and they post daily for a month, then the Lifeway will pay $30 bonus. I'm intending
Absolutely.
I'm
Which will
intending to
cover three
give that a
months on
go.
the app.
Yeah.
And remember the day that you start, if you're going to do that, it's amazing. Thanks for bringing that up, Adrian. The day that you start doing that on the app is the day that you have to go from, and you cannot miss a day. And I think Candice missed her day over the weekend. She was doing it.
No, I didn't, because I
Did
found
you?
out today that it starts at the 10th. So I've gotten into the habit of posting. But yeah, if you start on the 10th and you get the paid version, like Adrian said, you post every day for 30 days. You can just put a reminder on your phone every day. Go onto our site. Our site does everything for you. If you don't have your own pictures, we've got beautiful stock images. There's lifestyle images. Everything is there. And if you don't know what to say, you just ask the AI to help you with something to say. You can put a picture of yourself and choose one of the products that you want to talk about and say, please relate this to X39. And then you'll get a lovely blurb. And then you can click compliance and make sure that it's compliant. We never have to worry about that anymore. And just get going. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, those of us that have concluded with the business launch bonus, a lot of us that are already at rank that don't have that special. When we are signing up new people and we're helping them with their business launch bonus, guess what? We can also earn $12.50 if they're earning 25, and then 25 if they're earning 50. So I mean that's also incredible. So we all get to experience the incredible commission and compensation that LifeWave offers us.
And of course, we have that going forward with any new brand partner. So if we can help people move forward and get bonuses, we're going to earn more. It's just another way that we're earning and they're earning. So it's very exciting because there are so many things that you can do. So we just need to be moving forward, doing what Henrietta's doing. Because how far are you from your next rank, Henrietta? You must be getting very close.
Well, I need a few more points, of course. But I'm making more points every week now, so closing in.
Absolutely. And that's what we got to do. We got to set our goals. So if anybody once their goals for December and you want to know what to do, I think we'll do a call about goal setting, or you can talk to us about setting your goals. Because if you don't set goals, you're not going to get anywhere. And like I said on the weekend, if you think my goal is 3-star presidential and I'm going to get there in 2 years' time, well, you're not going to start working. You need to make your goals achievable. So if you are a 2-star manager, your goal needs to be 3-star manager. How long are you going to give yourself and how are you going to do it? If you're a 3-star manager, how are you going to get to a 1-star director? And that's really what you've got to be focusing on, not the end. Because if we're looking right at the end, I mean, none of us are anywhere near there yet. We'll get there eventually. But thanks, everybody. Any other questions for Henriette? No? Everybody's happy. Nobody wants to say anything. Anybody else been to events, watched watch parties of events and want to say something about it, what it has taught them?
I've got a little anecdote to share, if I may, because Merle, you invited Harvey on to do a training several months ago, and he brought Mike Hernandez on. That was the first time I'd heard Mike Hernandez, and he talked about this approach. These 2 short minute, are people open to having a look? And I know I've just found it very difficult to take on board. It's like, really? Can that really be the case? I've had a lot of resistance. And I'd had somebody in mind to approach who serves me in a sort of takeaway shop, and her customer service skills are really good. And I thought one day I'd like to talk to her and see if she's open. And yesterday afternoon, I chose a quiet moment. I popped in and I said, I really appreciate your customer service skills. She said, "Oh, thank you." No, yeah, she acknowledges that's one of her strengths. And I said, "Are you open to looking at ways of making additional income?" And you know what she said? She said, "Yes, I'm actively looking." Yeah. I mean, how easy was that? And then so she's like, "Yep, okay, when can we talk?" So I got a number, and she's going to come and see me on Friday. I said Zoom or in person. She's going to come and see me in person, and it turns out she's in pain. So
There we go.
she was messaging me before I got to message her, with some further. I did give her a headline of it, what it was about, and I'll send me some more information so she could do some homework and get ahead of when we're meeting. And she was doing that last night. She was messaging me, "Can you send that information?" So I just felt so much joy because, as we've talked about before, people need this. What we've got is so special. People need it.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be long. I mean, Candace was with me the other night and we were talking to an Uber driver and I sent him something. I think that was Friday night's Uber driver. And today he came back to me and asked me for the link for the call this evening. And he said if he can't make it, he was on the presentation. He sent me a message now at 9 to say he was on the presentation. So I'll follow up with that. So there we go. You just never know where you're going to meet someone.
And I'd like to say something also, because I know probably a lot of people like myself have this chicken list. I call it the chicken list because I'm too chicken to call them. And I've started using a technique for myself. Instead of thinking, what if they think I'm just stupid? Instead I'm thinking, what if they join and make a successful business? What if they join and make a successful business? And then I said, okay, so the worst thing that can happen is no. I'm not interested. Well, that's okay. I spent 2 minutes on that person. If you spend 2 minutes on every person, then you can call a lot of people. So just when you're scared of talking to somebody, just think, what if they join and what if they will be successful? It's like Adrian, you couldn't know that person was actually looking, and you never know who is looking. So don't be afraid to just ask them if they're open to listen.
Thanks, Henriette. I think that's a great way to finish. So thank you, everybody, for being on the training. And thank you, Henriette. That was amazing. Let's stop recording.